This is Alchemist 2. I'm just going to update you on projects that I have been working on currently. And I recently came up with a tale called Vigilantes versus Villains, and it was this crazy idea I came up with at work, and it was built on the idea when I was younger and going through college. I was absolutely in love, and I still adore these series of Totally Spies and the New Spies. And then I thought to myself, wouldn't it be different and unique if there were groups of people that lived amongst us very inconspicuously, that had their own bounty hunter groups outside the jurisdiction. They still work within the context of the law. However, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, the bigwigs in the government, they have their own controversial opinions about these groups that do good and put the criminals in their place, basically. And they don't put them back in the system where there is a revolving door and they get flung right back out into the world to commit more crime. So they bypass that and they give them a more reasonable methodology of making themselves better people, if they so desire, because human beings have their own free will. And I just thought this is going to be one of my opuses, just like the Lux Saga, which is very near and dear to my heart because sci-fi is where I dwell. It is my home base, just like comedy is. And fantasy too, adventure mixed in with that, all in the realm that I consider my origin as a writer. I'm working on a collaboration with my friend Thriller Terrain. He actually spun the idea to me, and I just thought it was too delectable not to gobble up about hockey. Hockey is one of my favorite sports of all time. I've never written anything about it. So I'm going to write a script about it called Red Ice, and the only reason it's called Red Ice is because my main characters wear red jerseys. But anyway, they're they are just unlucky in everything, and they are human characters with human problems, just trying to make a go of the professional sports world, and they're losers at the start. And my main character, unfortunately, he lets greed become him, and he realizes that he's a traitor later on, and he redeems himself and has to make good with the love of his life, that his love interest, who comes to every single solitary game, and at first she starts out as a closet fan, and she watches their games on her cell, just in the confines of the ladies' room when no one's watching and nobody knows that she is a fan of the Timberwolves. But there are a lot of funny things. It's kind of like my tribute to Dodgeball, amongst other things. Mighty Ducks, which I just love. My favorite hockey film of all time is Miracle, but it is a tribute to all those things, and I want to make it madcap, like Blades of Glory and Dodgeball, and just some really hilarious sports films I've watched growing up and loving. Just the comedies that define my youth and are still funny to this day and still make me laugh. And that's hard to do because I'm very picky when it comes to comedy. I wrote my latest fan fiction. I felt very happy about it. It was an original character paired off with Kylo Ren. Yeah, flame me if you will. I don't care. Let's see. Other than that, I haven't really been writing too much I haven't written too much of anything else. Well, the big thing I'm working on right now is Vigilantes versus Villains and Red Ice. That would be the story of the Timberwolves versus the best team in the world, a team full of women known as the Antarctic Polar Bears. They're mainly Russian. Yeah, I'm contradicting myself from what I said earlier about villains. Bad alchemists too. But I'm going to be working on that. Gypsy Feet is a script. It's about two siblings that they were abandoned by their parents who were addicts. Well, actually, their mother, their father's dead. I mean, he was also an addict, but he got in with a bad crowd and basically died of overdose. Um, they're searching for a home, and it's basically a Christmas story because they're able to actually find. It takes a while for them to find a home, but they do eventually. And then there was one that was an idea that came to me at work. A lot of these ideas come to me at work, and it's called Le Parfumerie, basically the perfumery, and it takes place in France, my favorite place. Never been, want to go someday. But it's about she's a young chemist. She wants to go into the perfume business. It's a very difficult business to get into. There's a lot of competition involved. And the main character, Madeline, she has a chance to go to France to make her dreams come true. It also love. It's just like my favorite films of old, April in Paris, which I absolutely just lavishly adore. I know it's an old film, Doris Day, and just I wanted to do a tribute. I have a lot of stories I'm working on right now. I'm currently reading Land of Stories, the latest Land of Stories. I've got a book that was recommended to me called Wholly Unbelievable that I have not read yet, but it's in the same vein as Dr. Dawkins' works. I should say. I'm getting tongue-tied. But anyway, it's by P.C. Dixon. And it combats a lot of problems within our own beliefs. I think that's what it's getting at. Well, let me see if it actually says on the back. Is religion the true source of moral behavior? That's bad grammar. Excuse me, I have taken ethics and law, and I know that is not a definitive question. Is worship really the main purpose of human existence? Did Noah genuinely build an ark? Actually, yes, he did. You can't discount that because they found an error rap. Religion still has a remarkable hold over many, even in today's scientifically advanced world. Wholly Unbelievable looks at why this should be and how and why we should try to change things. Well, let me just say this about that. By nature, I am empirically minded, but I also believe very strongly in a higher entity. And of course, a lot of people are like, okay, yeah. I know there are a lot of people that don't understand how I am the way I am, but I feel better when I am connected to my author, creator, maker, sustainer, and artist, and blueprint maker, and so many different names for the entity that I believe in. But I'm very intrigued about reading this book, and I've read many books similar to it. They have not shaken me in one way, shape, or form. They actually strengthened me. But it shall be an interesting read, and of course I plan on reading that, and I plan on just keeping myself busy. That's pretty much all I have to say. So until next time, ciao, tutti, live long, prosper.